Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack44227TV to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey guys, like what we do on our channel and want to see more videos from us? Then not to worry about a thing. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as turning on the notification bell so that way you can see more of our videos coming up very soon. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Hey guys, this is AckleyAttack4427 here, and welcome back to another episode of WTPU, aka What the Pickup? Now, as you may recall, in the last episode of the show, which you can see right down over here, I talked about another one of the Bachmann Thomas and Friends figures that I actually got, but mainly on Farmer Trotter and his pigs, and yeah, I will have to say, I really do think this is probably another one of the best that Bachmann is actually putting out in regards to the Thomas and Friends HO00 scale figures that we got very recently from them for sure. And yeah, I do have to say they did do a really good job, of course, what it's actually providing for sure. And given to, of course, where I've actually placed them for sure, I really do think they really deserve a really great place on my layout for sure. That I really do think is actually very well deserving to be placing for sure. So yeah, but I digress on that front. But either way, I really love on how well they actually turned out, and yeah, I really do think they're really well worth purchasing for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. If you want to check that episode out for yourself, then don't worry about a thing. There's a card over there over at the top right corner of the screen, as well as, of course, the link to it down the description box below. So yeah, whichever you prefer, go right ahead. I'll wait until you come back. Yeah, take all the time you need. I'll be here by the time you come back for sure. And well, I think given to where we're at right now, I think this might actually be another interesting one for sure. So yeah. But hey, probably been a long time coming, but I do hope it's well worth it. So yeah. And yeah, I guess given to pretty much me being on a roll with, of course, getting some Bachmann Thomas models for sure. Now I'll be quite curious about some of the other ones that I've had, that I'm really excited to get for sure. I mean, given to, of course, the amount that I've actually got so far, maybe I'll be expecting some of the other ones that'll be coming out for sure. And who knows what will happen if I'm finally caught up, of course, all the ones that I haven't collected yet for sure. But hey, I'm sure we'll see what happens on where we'll go from there for sure. So yeah. Alright, I guess seeing how you did already see the last episode of this show, we might as well go ahead and start up this episode as we normally do. well, I think it's about time that we wrap up this saga, and of course, talk about all the Bachmann, Thomas and Friends figures that my friend Trainboy54 has sent over to me for sure. And what better way to officially wrap up pretty much this saga than by talking about these for sure. So yeah, what I actually got right here is, of course, pretty much the last of these 6 Thomas and Friends figures that Bachmann is actually released for sure, and that being on the narrow gauge personnel set, which of course consists of Mr. and Mrs. Percival, and of course a few workmen as well for sure. So yeah. That's pretty much all I can say, of course, that front for sure. It's been a long time coming for sure, and, well, given to most of the other ones that I've actually talked about beforehand, I say this might actually be a really good one to actually wrap up this saga for sure. So with that being said, let's finish up this saga with, of course, this one, and, well, we might as well take a look at it as usual, so yeah. Alrighty then, well, now that we got the introduction out of the way, we can now go ahead and finally talk about these figures alone, and yeah, pretty much based on my first impressions from what I'm actually seeing, they actually do look very, very nice from Viking a Gatherer for sure. And I know that's saying a whole lot because much like all the other figures that we actually got, I do know these actually look good for sure. But believe it or not, unlike all the other ones that we actually talked about beforehand, I say this figure set might be pretty much be put to good use later on down the road. Why, you may ask? Well, if you may recall, I think it's not with, of course, the Bachmann, Thomas and Friends range for sure. It's not only pretty much the stuff they're doing in HO for sure, but for quite some time now, they've actually been releasing the narrow gauge engines very recently, but in N scale for sure, and yeah, and I guess pretty much, if anything, those have actually got me quite interesting for sure, and when I actually first heard the news about it, I kind of figured, maybe I might consider getting some N-scale stuff for when I do get the narrow gauge engines for sure, because, yeah, I can definitely see where they're going at for sure, so yeah, and trust me, I do have plans to actually get some N-scale Bachmann stuff for sure, so that way I can get the narrow gauge engines for sure, and I already am taking into consideration and getting the pretty much the Thomas and Friends ranging N scale later on down the road for sure. So I guess in regards to the narrow gauge personnel figure set that we actually got, I think this is not only another great one for me to actually get by far, but it might actually foreshadow on what will come up later on down the road. To which I do hope I'll get some N scale stuff. So that way I can finally get the narrow gauge engines for sure, to which I'm still excited for. And of course, I am still looking into getting the Thomas and Friends range in that scale alone for sure, as well as I guess a few others that I'm already taking into consideration. So yeah, don't worry about a thing. It might happen later on down the road, but we just don't know when for sure. So I guess pretty much in terms of the narrow gauge personnel set that we actually got, I say this might actually be a good start for me, and yeah, from the front of the packaging alone, yeah, pretty much if anything, I really am intrigued, of course, how well it actually looks. Obviously, we actually do get Mr. and Mrs. Percival, pretty much the former of which actually does run the narrow gauge line on Sodor for sure, so that's a bit of a plus. And I guess the 3 others being the workmen for sure. I say they're actually really nice additions, I'm not gonna lie, and yeah, pretty much from what I can gather, it's pretty much what you would expect, hands down, for sure, much like all the other figures that we talked about before, hands down, so I think it's kind of expected for sure. And again, going on to the back from what you can see right here, again, pretty much is just all the information and stuff. Of course, pretty much all the other figures that you can actually collect for sure. And of course, pretty much from this right here over by the barcode, pretty much on of course what the figure set is hands down. So yeah, pretty much expecting from what you can gather for sure. But I say they're well worth it regardless. So yeah, from my first impressions alone, they really do look quite nice from what I can gather, and I'm intrigued on how well they actually turned out. So yeah, let's carefully open this up and pretty much take a close look at it. Okay, and let's see, I'll set you down right here. Alright, and yeah, I guess from what I'm actually seeing right here, yeah, looks like we're in for something really great, hands down. So yeah, I guess if anything, we might as well start off with Mr. Percival. And yeah, from what I'm actually seeing, he actually does look really good for sure. I'm really impressed on how well it actually looks, hands down. And again, pretty much if I can pull up one of my Bachmann Thomas models, to which, yeah, I guess this is my Bachmann Thomas with speed activating sound. Yeah, again, it's actually a much more accurate to, of course, how they actually look for the HO trains for sure. So I imagine that if I can put you back in here, yeah, there we go. So yeah, so I imagine that if pretty much if I do get the narrow gauge engines later on down the road, I think it'll be a little bit smaller compared to the HO trains that I currently got, but actually be a bit more accurate to, of course, how they're representing for sure. So yeah, either way, Mr. Percival actually does look really good. And let's see. Oh yeah, and Mrs. Percival, I'm not gonna lie, yeah, she actually doesn't look that bad for sure. Although I guess from what I'm seeing, pretty much from the naked eye, for sure, I think, I don't know if it's just me, but I do kind of think if you look at her in the with the naked eye, I think she does kind of look less a bit like Mrs. Percival, but more like Becky Boob for sure. And oh yeah, there we go. Looks like the camera actually focused for sure to get a close look at it. And yeah. Yeah, I guess for a while it does look good. I think she kind of looks a bit more like Becky Boob more than Mrs. Percival, or hey, maybe it's just me from what I can gather. So yeah, at least that's what I can gather for sure. Now I guess pretty much of anything for a couple of the workmen that we actually got. Again, they don't look too bad from what I can gather. I think these might be the kind who might help repair the engines for sure. So I really do like what they actually did with, of course, this one for, of course, these two from what I can gather. So yeah, and of course, this one right here. Again, I do have to say, he actually does look quite nice from what I can gather. Again, pretty much much like all the other ones, details like that actually can be very hard to do, but I'm really impressed on how well they actually did from the way it looks, and even the ways they actually painted it out for sure. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, on that front. So yeah. But yeah, regardless of course, that front, I think the narrow gauge personnel, pretty much figure set that we got right here really are very nicely done from what I can gather. And I really do think they did do a very nice job in putting all those together for sure. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, that front. But I guess enough about that, and well, I guess right up until I will get the narrow gauge engines for sure. Let's see how they look on my HO layout for sure. So yeah, we might as well go ahead and transition over to that. Alrighty then, here we are once again backing, of course, for sure. And well, it looks like with what we have been through throughout the course of these 6 episodes, we're now down to the final batch of course, the Bachmann HO Thomas figures to pretty much place on, of course, my layout for sure to really get us where we need to be. And luckily enough, the narrow gauge personnel said that we actually got for sure is definitely very well deserving of course, to wrap this up for sure. So yeah, and I think I know we've been through a whole lot from what I can gather for sure. So I do hope pretty much all this is actually well worth it in the end for sure. Is it very time consuming from what I can gather? Yeah, pretty much, but I do hope it will get us somewhere that we really need to be for sure, because hey, I really do love my layout for what it is, and I do want to keep on adding some stuff to it to make it grow and evolve for sure. So yeah. But either way, it's what I can say, of course, that front for sure. So. And I did kind of notice pretty much a few Farmer McCall's sheep might have pretty much might have fell down for a bit. So let's see, and all right, I think I might have fixed it. So all right, so anyways, I think we might as well go ahead and pretty much get ourselves into, of course, place these figures for sure. So yeah, and I think we might as well start off with, of course, this guy. So yeah, I think he might be this might be a good spot for him. So and let's see, oh yeah, I think for, of course, this guy, and of course this guy will place him over by the yeah, maybe over by the single box, or wait, hold up. I think maybe the other side will do just fine. So oh yeah, I think that'll work a whole lot better. So that way they're not blocking Harold. And of course we can't forget about Mr. and Mrs. Percival for sure. So all right, and thankfully enough, I think we'll place them over by Maythwaite Station once again, but this time over by the end. So, all right, and yeah, there we go. So, oh, yeah, it seems like Mrs. Percival really doesn't want to cooperate. Oh, there we go. So. Alright, and yeah, I guess with what I'm seeing, I think this might actually be a good spot for them. So alright, so I think with all that said and done, I think that's pretty much pretty much all that I can place them in for sure. So yeah, I think with, of course, pretty much Mr. and Mrs. Percival over by Maythwaite Station on this side, and the rest of the workmen, of course, the other side for sure. I think it looks like we finally got everything taken care of for sure, and of course placing them where we need to be for sure, and yeah, give it to all that from what I've actually seen. I think we're finally in good hands as of now. So yeah, overall, I really love what they did with the narrow gauge personnel figure saga that we actually got right here for sure. I really do think they really did an incredible job from what I can gather to really make them pretty much what they are, and well, yeah, the end result actually came out pretty good from what I can gather. Not necessarily great, but I really do like what they actually did for sure. So yeah, either way, I'd say they're well worth the purchase nonetheless, and yeah, I do highly recommend them for sure. So yeah, if you got the time, I say definitely seek out, of course, buying these ones for sure. I think you're going to be in for something really good. And I guess on that thought alone, I think that pretty much covers all of the Bachmann Thomas figures that we actually got right here for sure. Well, in terms of HO that is for sure. And yeah, looking back on all of them we've actually covered over the course of these 6 episodes, I really am quite impressed on how well they actually look for sure. Can I necessarily say that they're the best that Bachmann has actually put out? Well, not particularly for sure. I mean, don't get me wrong, the way they actually look, and of course the detail they actually put into each and every single one of them are actually very nicely done, and they are accurate in style to, of course, how they look for, of course, all the engines, as you can see here for sure. My only complaint from what I can gather is that I do felt the green bases for each and every single one of them could have been held on a whole lot more so that way they won't come apart and nor even fall down for sure. So that's pretty much my main gripe with, of course, all these figures for sure. And I do think they could be improved on for sure. But I'm not necessarily saying it's all bad for sure. So yeah, I do felt the green bases could have been something Bachmann would have actually fixed up on for all these figures for sure, and maybe do the same thing for of course the pigs with Farmer Trogger, as you can see from way back over there. And even the same argument with, of course, the sheep as well, with the sheepdog and the sheep for Farmer McCall as well. But yeah, either way, that's my main complaint for sure. So yeah. But I can't necessarily say it's all bad for sure. And yeah, I like what they actually did for sure. So I think it's safe to say that all these figures that I actually got right here, for while they aren't great, they are actually really good nonetheless. So yeah. But will I stand by my point in saying that all of these, as you can see here, are well worth the purchase? Actually, yes, I do for sure. So yeah. And of course, don't get me wrong, pretty much given to all that, I still love the now dubbed large-scale figures that we actually got right here. But I'm gonna have to say the HO figures that we actually got very recently are actually much more accurate to, of course, all the engines and yeah, all these trains that we actually got in the HO line for sure. So I say, I guess if anything, it is pretty much, if anything, I still love the now dubbed large-scale figures for sure. But I would have to say, they're probably considered outdated as we speak, and I do think the HO figures might be a good replacement for all four of these for sure. But don't worry, I am still gonna put these to a good use for sure. But probably, I guess, for a different purpose nonetheless. Maybe I'll do like pretty much my take at doing some close-up shots with, of course, all these ones for sure. So yeah, but we'll have to wait and see what happens and see where we'll go from there for sure. But yeah, either way, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. And that's the one thing I really do love for sure. I do want to keep on buying some stuff for my Bachmann Thomas layout, as you can see here. Whether it be new models, new accessories, new track, anything else in particular. So yeah, it'll be hard to say on when that's going to happen anytime soon because, well, I do need to spend my time and money on, of course, other things for sure. But I do hope we'll get somewhere later on down the road to make this layout the best I can for sure. So yeah, at least that's what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode, and by all means, let me know down in the comments down below on what you thought of this one for sure. I would love to know on what you guys think. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode, and boy, a really great way to end this saga for sure. And again, I want to give a big special thanks to my friend Trayboy54 for getting all these figures that you see throughout the course of these 6 episodes for sure. And of course, pretty much sending them out to me for sure. Yeah, really means a whole lot, my man, and I'm really glad that you got those figures for sure. So yeah, at least for me, at least. But yeah, either way, I can't wait to see what comes up next, of course, this show for sure, but we'll definitely have to wait and see later on down the road. Maybe it might happen pretty much in the next week or the next month, or we'll see what happens for sure. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.